Chronic danger.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Chronic Danger Podcast. I am here with my very good friend Kalen Keneally.
Hello.
Kalen, say hi. We've been friends for, we were supposed to figure this out before the show.
I did it 12 years.
12 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
We definitely look a little bit different than we did 12 years ago, but we're still teenage dirtbags at heart.
Always.
I don't even remember. I was trying to figure out like how we actually met, because I know the first time we hung out was at that football game.
I'm pretty sure that's the time we met too.
Okay. So I was trying to figure out how that all worked, because I know, because you were a grade below me?
Yes.
Okay.
You were in 8th grade and I was in 7th grade when we met.
At Riverside.
At Riverside.
Yeah. Go Cougars. Okay, cool. Yeah, just been friends forever. I'm really happy that you're sitting here talking to me, because you're just the best little backstory. We ended up living together with a couple roommates at one point in our lives, and we've lived separate lives, but always kind of, intertwined to some way. So I always love talking to you. So I'm gonna ask you some questions now.
Okay.
Again, no structure, but let's talk about roller derby.
Let's do it.
The only time I think I ever really watched a match or even heard anything about it was through you, and I think more people need to know about roller derby. So,
Of course.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a full contact sport. You can wear what you want, do whatever you want, be who you want to be.
And on skates.
Yeah. It's even better.
It's like the best combination. I don't know why more people aren't watching roller derby, because they definitely should be.
They need to be.
Yeah.
Maybe someday it will be in the Olympics.
Hey, is there like a professional, like on an NFL, NBA type level of roller derby? Like,
So there is, it's called WFTDA, which is Women's Flat Track Roller Derby Association.
okay.
They kind of set the rules. That's who I always played with, and they do have ranked bouts. I never played in a ranked game, unless it was in the junior league. But when I was in the adults, I never played.
So is that what it's called? It's a bout is like the match?
Yes.
And how long does that normally last? Like, is there a time limit on it, or?
So it's been a few years since I have played,
Uh-huh.
but it was 2 30-minute halves with a 20 to 30-minute halftime, just depending on how it was set up at that time.
Okay, cool. And is there like an age that you can start doing this? Is there like a super junior league for?
So on the junior league, you can start at 7. It goes from 7 till 17 years old. It was awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
started when I was in 7th grade. It was as soon as the league started. It seemed like a lot of fun, so I did it.
It looks like a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah, and you can't do all the hard hits and all that stuff until you pass special testing that
Okay.
makes sure you're up to par to be able to play rough and
Right.
take the hits.
So there is rules, though.
There are a
Okay.
few rules, yes. No punching in the face, unfortunately.
No punching in the face. And so is there there's like a referee that rolls around too, isn't there? Or?
Yeah, so
Okay.
typically I believe there was around 7 refs. There's refs that watch the pack. There's refs that watch the jammer individually. There's also a bunch of NSOs that would help, which stands for non-skating official.
Okay.
So they would also help keep track of points, penalties, help out in the penalty box, and just do a lot of whatever they could for us. So
Cool. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's a jammer? And let's get into that, 'cause I want to know the difference
a
between all this
jammer
stuff.
is who scores the points.
Okay.
They're the fast ones. You pick one jammer from each team, and they're designated until the jam is over, is what they call it. So
Okay.
a jam can go on for 2 minutes, or the lead jammer can call it off at any point. And the lead jammer is whoever gets through the pack first.
Okay.
And so the pack there's 4 blockers from each team, and they all skate together, and that's considered the pack.
The
So
pack. Okay.
yeah, you want to get your jammer through, hold the other one back.
That's sweet.
It gets pretty intense at times, but it's a lot of fun.
And I should also mention, for you guys who've never watched a roller derby match, they're hot. So if you want to watch a bunch of hot people beat each other up on skates, then you definitely need to go check out a roller. Are they still doing matches like here in Billings? Like I remember at the Shrine, I went and watched you.
Yeah, so there was one not that long ago, but I haven't heard of anything recently, but I need to look it up and hopefully there's something soon.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet. No, it was super cool. I was amazed, you know, because I love watching football or wrestling or boxing, like it's contacts, but you're watching a bunch of sweaty dudes beat each other up. Go to a roller match and there's good music and there's a bunch of tough chicks going around speeding by you on a little like short track. Like it's like combining like racing and rugby, and it's just cool. And all like that, the outfits or uniforms or whatever that is like uniform. Yeah, like the uniforms you guys wear and everything. I thought it was really cool, and I don't know how many I actually went to, but I should have went to more because it's just something that always interests me. That I didn't quite figure out how to score points and everything. So like, how would you score like point?
So the jammers score the points, and every person on the opposing team that they pass while in play, they get a point for.
Oh.
So essentially, if a jammer goes through the pack, you're going to get 4 points. But if you happen to lap the other jammer, you get 5 points. And you also get the point if someone is in the penalty box.
Oh.
So
there's a penalty box like hockey where, so there'd be one less roller on the track.
yes, so in the penalty box, you can have your jammer and 2 blockers in there at the same time. So that kind of wipes out the majority of your team. So
how many people are like normally, like is there like a set amount of people on your team that's currently skating, like, you know, like 11 people in football, 5 people in basketball?
On the roster, they used to have it as 14 people with some like alternates, you know, in case someone got hurt during gameplay or something like that. An alternate would be able to go in and finish the game for them.
That's wild.
It is.
That's a big team
wild.
for any professional sport. You know, it's a lot of people out there bumping elbows and cracking skulls. That's really cool. No, I always thought that was cool when you did that. And I was curious, you know, how someone gets started with that. Because I know, you know, there's not like a high school roller derby team. It's more of like, you know, an outside private type thing, but how that works to get set up with it. So you're saying, what, 7 years old is?
7 years old.
Okay.
And then in the adult league, there's no cutoff age. So
really,
you can go until your body tells you no.
That's really cool. That's something
really cool.
You know, you can't do in a lot of other sports, saying that it's up to you, man. Like if you want to be 90 years old and you want to knock some teeth out, then go ahead and start skating.
Yeah, do it.
That's really cool. And I mean, everyone skated when we were kids. Like Skateland was like the spot.
We were always there every Friday and Saturday night.
Like for fun or like for practicing?
For fun.
For fun.
For fun. Yep.
That was really cool. I don't know like why that got so popular. You know, because obviously skating was really popular in like the disco era, you know, in the 70s and the 80s. And I think it died for a while. And all of a sudden when we were kids, it was like that was a place. Like if you wanted to hang out, you better meet me at Skate World Friday night. The black lights and the disco ball and everything. That was so cool. I never learned how to skate. I can rollerblade, but for some reason, when you put 4 wheels on a skate, I'm like, you might as well put like a baby giraffe on roller skates and try to move around. I couldn't figure it out.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I remember my parents got me this set of rollerblades from Goodwill that were like straight 70s. Like they were sick. They were like gold or rollerblades. They were gold and they had like red and green on them. And, you know, even as a 6th or 5th grader, I had like a size 15 foot. And I learned on the rollerblades and I really liked that, but I could not figure out how to skate. Have you tried like, if you can roller skate, like have you tried rollerblading? Is it different or?
It is very different. To me, I've done both. I think rollerblading is a lot more like ice hockey, you know, like when you're ice skating.
Right.
You use different muscles.
That's interesting.
That's for sure. And it's not really something you'd notice too much, but when you're used to constantly skating in one thing and try to go into the next, you can definitely pick up on some differences.
It'd be like driving a car compared to like riding a motorcycle or something, I'm sure. That's crazy.
I think some people probably don't struggle with them that bad, but I always thought blades were impossible for me.
Yeah, and you can like skate backwards and stuff on roller skates, right?
Oh yeah.
Like there's nothing. I don't know why Probably some dumb fifth grader back in the day. It's like, well, you can't skate backwards on roller skates. You're gonna die. And like, I just assumed you couldn't. But obviously, yeah, I guess you can skate. It's four wheels.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool. I miss the skate world days
me too.
and the music. I've been listening to One Republic lately. I forgot about them. Like I had no idea how many songs they had that were like popular when we were younger. And they came up on a TikTok and it was like nostalgia in 3, 2, 1. I started playing Secrets on the cello. And I was like, oh damn, that's a good song. Like I forgot about that. So I've just been like diving down the rabbit hole of One Republic. I don't even know if they still play or if they like come out with music. But all these songs, I'm like, oh man, it's got me in my feels, like, back in the day. But
Coldplay's coming next.
oh, Coldplay's never gonna get old ever. Everything they do, and I don't even know if they do new music anymore. Do they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I just remember all the old songs.
That, and then I was listening to the One Republic radio, and It Ends Tonight by All American Rejects came on, and just that beginning piano, like the ding ding ding. Oh, that brought back so many memories. It was like, yeah, little angsty fifth grader, like it's gonna end tonight. Darkness turns to light. Like that was just crazy stuff. But that was a music like we accepted. Like I'm a Planet, what was it? 106.7 Planet, right?
Yes.
They
that
were like
always played on my bus on the way
yeah,
home.
right. That's
Every day.
Yeah, that was always on the, and they were like, I don't know, they're like an alternative type station for the time. But so I don't know if they ever had a DJ at Skate World. They must have. But I remember going on like school trips and stuff, and they'd be playing like 106.7 and all the songs like One Republic or Coldplay and stuff. And it's like, man, this is it. Like we are living in the peak of human existence right now, skating around. There's John Mayer's "Waiting on the World to Change." I don't know why I like associate that song with roller skating or rollerblading, but I think I used to sing it like when I used to skate backwards, like "Waiting on the World to Change," like going around my garage or something. And I'll always remember that. But that was like a lot different than disco.
That was probably the peak of our lifetimes, and we just didn't realize it at the time.
No, we didn't.
I'd love to go back.
We should go back.
Let's do it.
I'm sure there's still a thing, right? Skate World?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if lots of people go, but
That's even better.
It's-
just more room to.
exactly.
Do you remember snowballing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That was like,
Couples skate.
yep, that was it. That's when you made your move. So for all you kids listening, back in our day before Tinder and Snapchat and everything, if you liked a girl, you either wrote her a note and patiently waited to see if she liked you, or you waited till Skate World, and if she picked you on the snowball skate dance, skate, whatever it is, that was so nerve-wracking. I'm like getting nervous thinking about it because you see like the girl that you don't want to skate with come by, she starts slowing down a little bit. You're like, oh, please don't pick me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for your friend. Like don't do this. That was scary. You get all sweaty and like, oh, I don't know.
That's kind of when all the new couples would show off
Oh,
that
yeah.
they were in the relationship, and everyone would go out and skate together, and
That was the in relationship on Facebook status before that was a thing.
those were the times.
And you were always jealous because you knew. You're like, oh,
You knew.
they've been hanging out by the swings. Like, obviously, they got a little something going on the side. And then all of a sudden, you see them start skating around to, I don't even know. I can't remember the cheesy, like, love music that they would play. But Plain White Tees comes on, and all of a sudden, you see John and Jane holding hands. You're like, I knew it. That bastard, I knew it. He was going after her. I forgot about snowballing. That was always fun, though. Like, I don't know. Where'd you go to lunch? Like, I guess, I don't know. We shouldn't share personal information about our schools or something weird for internet. I don't know. I went to Big Sky. Did you?
I went to Blue Creek.
Blue Creek, okay. Yeah. And Big Sky was like, I don't know, 3 blocks from Skate World. So maybe like twice a year, we take a school trip in the middle of the day down to Skate World. Like we bring our skates to school and just walk over in a big old chain, excuse me, to Skate World. And that was the best because you didn't have to wonder like, oh, I wonder if she's going to be here Friday night. Like you just went over there with your whole class and it was just game on.
See, we never did that. We had like school skate nights, where they
Oh.
would have like one or two of the elementary schools come,
Mhm.
like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night for a few hours, but we never went during class.
I wonder if I saw you back then, because I'm sure we went to I remember the skate nights. I mean, maybe.
Probably.
I would have asked you to the snowball dance, just so you know.
I would have asked you to.
Oh, I probably would have cried and been scared. And, I don't want to skate. You're skating too fast. But that was, I don't know, that was cool. I hope kids still get to do stuff like that. I think field trips are some of the funnest times, just the most stupid stuff. Like, going to like a Japanese restaurant for Japanese culture. That was the coolest, man. We hopped on like the Met bus and, because it was like this, for some reason we couldn't get school buses that day, but I felt like an adult. I was a 5th grader going to get some Japanese food using chopsticks. Man, I was like, this is it. Like, I've grown up. Like, fuck you, kindergartners. Like I'm here. Also, we can cuss on this show. I forgot to mention. I don't know if we're figuring out like, if I'm going to be charged or something weird if I have to bleep it out, but we can cuss
For now.
for now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's my show. I guess we can do whatever, but I always forget that and I accidentally say something. I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't cuss. But that was the best. I mean, that was just cool. But yeah, it's got me thinking about skate roll. I can still like smell it and see it. And the carpet had like the galaxies and stuff on it. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
like-
with like all the swirlies and
Yeah.
the neon colors.
That looked sick. Man, if kids were doing acid, that would be like the spot to go as a 5th grader. But kids shouldn't do acid.
No, they shouldn't.
Now, would it be creepy if an adult went there? Like, think about it. Like if you would have saw someone our age when you were a 5th grader, would you be like, oh, look at that loser, they're skating around? Or is it like cool? Or do we just not care?
I feel like we don't care, but at the time, if we saw someone our age or way older than us there, we would have been like, oh, look at them.
Look at that weirdo. But isn't
Yeah.
that weird how like even when you were a kid, if you pictured like if you saw a high schooler, right? Or it's always like a grade above. So if you're an 8th grader, you see a freshman in high school, you're like, man, they made it. Like that's what an adult is. Like look how cool they are. And then you become a freshman, you look at the upperclassmen and say the same thing. Get down to high school and you're looking at college kids. Now when I see like college kids on TikTok and stuff, I'm like, fuck, I'm old. Like I look at that and be like, these guys are kids. I remember what I look like to them. They must think I'm ancient now. Isn't that weird?
It is so weird. It's like we got so busy, we grew up, and then we stopped, and it's like, oh, I look old.
Yeah.
I
But
have gray hair,
yeah.
wrinkles.
But see, like you don't look any older to me right now than you did when I saw you as a 7th grader. Isn't that crazy? Like I don't recognize you as being old. Like I still see you as Kalen, like the same way that I saw you when we were kids. But obviously, if I didn't know you and I saw a picture of you as a 7th grader now, I see the difference. But isn't that weird how if you grow up like seeing someone or knowing someone, you can't really like distinguish them aging?
That is so weird. But when you like look back, there's a huge difference. But it's like a difference you never noticed because you were there the whole time.
Right.
That's so crazy.
I'm sure there's got to be like a scientific like meaning to that. But if there isn't, we're gonna copyright. We're gonna fund this.
We will.
We're gonna put all our money into researching why is it that if I watched a stranger from a child to a grown up, be like, oh man, you got so old. But then someone you're friends with for 12 years, you're like, I still remember seeing you, as a purple haired freshman at, a football game and Kushnene Kalen.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. You're still in my phone as Kushnene.
For those that are wondering, I changed my name when I put my number into Brenton's phone in 7th grade. I wrote Kushnene Kalen, and that's still what my number is saved as.
Still is. How many transfers of phones that Kushnene had to go through to get to the point where it's at now?
Hey, it's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah, it's a great nickname. But people were doing, that was popular. I don't see people change their names all crazy on Facebook and stuff now, but you had to have a cool nickname back in the day.
Oh, always.
Always, the cool kids always, and I'm not talking like the cool, like athlete, like nose up in the air kids. I'm talking about like the real cool kids like the first time you ever heard someone cuss, or they're like, oh man, I heard Kush Nene was smoking a cigarette behind the gas station. Like, that was street cred. That was the cool stuff.
That was the cool stuff.
My nickname was Brenton. Yeah.
You never had a nickname?
Not until Danger, no.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people called me handsome and funny, but
That's understandable.
no, I never really had a nickname. You know, I don't think I really had one until Danger came around, and Danger didn't come around until high school.
Okay.
But I don't think I really ever had like a cool nickname. But I wasn't one of those kids that carried a switchblade or, you know,
Yeah.
I wasn't like you. I didn't have the street cred that was worth it.
No smoking cigarettes behind the gas station?
Not publicly. No, that McFinney's crowd, they were a rough crowd.
Yeah. There was a lot of fights back there.
Yeah. Remember how big of it? No,
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Kids today aren't even going to experience fights behind McFinney's because it's gone.
That's really sad.
I know.
That's like taking down the Statue of Liberty and people coming to our country, they don't get to see it.
Right?
Like, it's a rite of passage.
It really is.
Man, that was that. And then I guess I went to West for a semester, and it was that alley behind Little Caesars and those really sketchy apartments. That was a cool kid alley, and I loved it over there. I don't even know really. I was just experiencing life and stuff, but the fights behind McFinney's, I got caught smoking one time behind McFinney's because, remember, I won't say his name, but our school resource officer, he would sit up in the auditorium, the windows of the auditorium with a camera, had this like crazy zoom lens on it. And, you know, he would zoom in on the people in McFinney's. So you're sitting there smoking a cigarette, get called into his office. He's like, oh, were you smoking a cigarette today? Oh, no, man, I don't do that. Huh? Who's this guy? You know, it's like Chris Hansen on Dateline. Yeah, take a seat. You're being a degenerate behind McFinney's. But I forgot they took that down. Where do the cool kids hang out now?
I don't know.
Hey, cool kids, where do you hang out? No, that sounds creepy. I'm not going to ask you that. No, we don't need to know. But I wonder where the cool kids hang out now.
Probably like that little gravel pit, like right by Pioneer Park,
Oh,
that
yeah.
like by the parking lot.
Do you remember that crazy guy that lived in those like really sketchy houses right behind there, give kids like alcohol and like cigarettes at like 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Whoa, I can't remember his nickname. That was nuts. That dude was like 40. He's like 45. And there's like these 16-year-olds hanging out in front of his house. Were you one of those kids? You were one of those kids, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
But just looking back at some of those situations, we were pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah. But kids are. Like, we don't know any fucking better.
We really don't. You
We're
think
like-
it's cool.
Yeah. It's all about the cred. Like, you know, you completely disregard like the dangers of it. Like, that's why, you know, I always think it's funny when they're like, well, don't go to the guy with the white van offering candy. It sounds so stupid when you're an adult, but when you're a kid and some dude's like, hey, bro, I got a shit ton of candy in this van. All you got to do is take your pants off and get in. You're like, hell yeah, I'll get some candy, because you don't think about it. It's the same thing for that sketchy guy that lived behind Cena. It's like, hey, you guys want some vodka? And you're like, yeah, man, cool. You know, and you're like, is it free? And he's like, no, you got to show me your titties. And you're like, oh, man, that's kind of weird, but like I want to get drunk right now before third period. So, you know.
May as well.
But, you know, we grow up and we change, and that's, like I said, I don't think I'll ever see you like as your age. I'll just see you as Kalen, because I met you as Kalen, and you know, that's how I'm going to see. But yeah, people change. You've changed recently. If you want to talk about it,
Let's talk about it.
I got a bunch of questions for you because I don't know much about this. So, what is the medical term for a boob job?
A breast augmentation.
Augmentation.
Yes.
What does augmentation mean?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Fake boobs.
fake boobs.
Yeah.
Boob job.
That's what it meant to me.
That's so. When you get a boob job, like, I don't know anything about this. So how does this? Do they like? Is it like a tire that it gets low on air and you're like, oh, I got to add a little bit, or like, you know, is it? How does that work? I mean, I'd be so frightened. Like, can you swim better now? Is it like
No.
float? Oh, really?
No, they tried to sink me. I jumped in a lake and
Uh huh.
Yeah.
So they're like anchors.
Anchors.
It's right to the bottom.
Dead ass.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're not buoyant. So
They are not.
what are they? What are they made of?
I don't know. I have the newer type of implant,
Okay.
and it's called a gummy bear. So it's like if you cut a gummy bear in half and were to like squeeze it, like that's the texture of mine.
Really?
So it's not liquid that's inside of it. It's more of like
Silicone.
a silicone type base, but they feel supernatural.
Really?
Yeah, they don't look supernatural. I mean, they do, but they're just
Like
large.
you can have like a hint at it, be like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe those weren't, what
Yeah.
God gave you, but
Yeah.
yeah. So do they have like an expiration date? Like how does, like, are they just like forever going to be there and you don't have to worry about them?
No, so they say about like 10 years. Every 10
Oh.
years, you like go get them replaced, but very few people wait like the 10 years. They'll go, 15, 20 years. And these actually have a lifetime warranty,
Oh,
which is just absolutely crazy to me.
that just sweetens
So,
the deal. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you going to start getting phone calls? Like, can I reach out to you about your boobs extended warranty?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'd
So-
pay for it. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I think it'd be worth it. So like, talk to me about the process. Like you go in for the surgery.
So I went to Salt Lake City for
Oh.
my surgery. It's a plastic surgery capital of the U.S. So
It's also
It
the
was-
Mormon capital. That's interesting that
Yes.
they're into
yes,
breast augmentation.
huge into plastic surgery down there.
Really?
It
Okay.
was insane. But anyways, I was comparing the price up here versus down there, and it was cheaper for me to go down there, including travel.
Really?
It made me feel more comfortable just because the amount that they do down there versus up here, I just feel like it's a lot more. So I actually went down to Salt Lake City for it. And I was talking to him over the phone. I had to put down a deposit to have my appointment booked. And I let him know, I'm coming in from out of town. So what we did is on Monday, I went in and I met the surgeon the first time. He put me in sizers. So essentially, I wore like a really tight shirt with a bra that he put in different implants. So I was able to see how they would look on me
Oh,
and kind of get a size for feel. And then the second day is when I went back. I had some blood work done. I finalized, my size and everything I wanted. Day 3, surgery day. It was extremely nerve-wracking. It was
bet.
the worst pain. I woke up and I was just in so much pain already, but I made it through. So then on the Thursday, which would have been day 4, the day after my surgery, I went in for a checkup. He made sure everything looked good. I was on a plane that night, and then I flew down 2 weeks later for a quick little checkup, and smooth sailing ever since.
So is it outpatient, or did you have to spend the night the first time?
Nope, it is outpatient, and I love the doctor that I went to. He called my mom about like 2 or 3 times that day just to make sure I was doing okay. He called at night to make sure, still just checking in, making sure I was doing okay, wasn't too nauseous. So they took amazing care of me, and
That's
I would
good.
recommend them to anyone.
So you were talking about pain and stuff. Like how long of a recovery do you think you would say that it felt to the point where it was like back to normal? Like you didn't have any pain or swelling or anything, like from the day altogether, from the first day of surgery until you started feeling normal again? Like about how long do you think that took?
Completely, probably around like a month and a half.
Oh, really?
So the first few days were awful.
Mhm.
I was in so much pain. I regretted every second of it. And I just kept thinking, why did I do this? Why did
Yeah.
I do this? But, after that first week passed, it really started to heal. And it was just the point of having to take things easy when you think you're starting to get better.
Mhm.
You have to make sure to slow yourself down. So just to make sure you're not messing everything up. And
Yeah. So you have restrictions then.
yes. So the first week I wasn't able to lift anything over 10 pounds
Oh, wow.
for a week. And then on the second week, it was 20 pounds, 30 pounds, that kind of thing. I also wasn't able to lift my arms for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, so I had to kind of keep them down. And then I didn't want to move them much anyways because I was so swollen and it hurt
Yeah.
so bad. I kind of hermited up
Right.
and got through it. So
Because there's like the potential that they'd get all like crazy. Like you got, so if you lifted something or moved something
Yes.
wrong, they'd be like, boom, boom, like just all
it
over the place.
very easily could have, because what happens is there's an incision about like that big under
Really?
my boob. You can't even see it because it's like right in my fold. It's
Hmm. That's a big cut though.
really? Oh, I thought it was small.
I mean,
If you saw how they used to be, they
Okay.
used to be like huge,
that just sounds scary to
nasty
me.
gashes.
Like that's,
So
I mean, I guess I never really realized how they actually got them into the body, but I guess they'd have to cut into you.
yeah, so they cut there, and then there's different ways you can go on top of the muscle, which my doctor did not recommend. He said there's nothing super wrong with it, just the fact if it's under, you're gonna have that muscle to hold it in. So he cuts the muscle, and
What?
he puts the implant under the muscle, so the muscle will like grow back around it and hold it.
That's crazy.
Right.
So instead of being between like the skin and the muscle, or putting it, like he literally just cut the tendons or whatever on the muscle and put it behind it.
Yeah.
And then it'll just grow back.
He cut right below and just, I don't know how he got that thing in there because it was huge.
That's nuts. But you got to try it on. That's cool too. Like kind of a demo process to make sure, because I mean the sky's the limit, right? Like
Exactly.
there's not a doctor that's gonna be like, oh, that's too big. Like if you want bowling balls, like you can get them. Wow.
Just like Ron White said, I want those titties on that woman.
Very smart guy. No, that's cool. But I mean, hey, that's a good thing about, I guess medicine nowadays. If you want like, plastic surgery,
Oh, yeah.
body
I know there's a
modification.
huge, stigma behind it, but
why?
I don't know.
Why
It's
would there
something
be?
I always wanted to do, and I wanted to do something for myself. And if it makes me feel better, then what's it matter?
Yeah, there should not be a stigma. There should have never been a stigma on that, because if it's something that you want to do, but I mean, there's a stigma on tattoos. There's a stigma on piercings. People, if you dye your hair some crazy color, they're gonna talk, and I think that's messed up because it's your body, it's your life. Do whatever you want to do with it, but it's not like you're harming yourself.
Exactly.
So why would people freak out? Just, well, they're not natural. Who cares, dude? Like, okay, you watch Star Wars and you're not gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, that's not real. Like, you can't take a lightsaber, blah blah blah, and do that. And those people are lame, man. That's
Just let people live their lives,
big boobs are the best.
right?
Like, I don't get why people wouldn't be into that, or like they wouldn't be into it, whatever. Wouldn't be okay with that at the
Everyone
very
likes
least.
boobs.
Yeah, babies.
Exactly.
Babies are smart. They love boobs.
Everyone loves boobs.
Yeah.
I like boobs.
See, of everyone, men, women, children, elderly people. I'm sure they love boobs, wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. I've never seen an elderly boob, but
I don't think I want to. It's just-
okay, maybe that's the line. I don't know, but but either way, I don't see an issue with that. And people change stuff all the time. Like I guarantee, if dudes could go get massive biceps inserted in their body, they would do it. So I don't.
You can.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like straight up, you can just like get muscles.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Wow.
an implant.
Well, yeah, but it looks like a real muscle.
Yeah.
That's what people care about, anyways.
Exactly.
You
can get like
Huh.
abs, calves.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Do you know Liver King? Have you seen all his stuff? He's the primal guy that like eats like balls all day and stuff.
No.
Yeah, well, he's like, I saw some video about them saying that he has like ab implants and stuff. And I thought it was a joke. Like, I didn't know you could actually get like ab implants. But they do look pretty fake. Like if they were going to be fake, like I'm not going to call him out, because I'm sure, he's does his exercise and he eats liver and testicles and all this other crazy stuff. But now I'm wondering, I didn't know you could get implants for that kind of stuff. Can you get dick implants?
I think there's like an extension surgery you can have, but I don't
Really?
think it's like an actual implant. I don't know.
I mean, why wouldn't they do that? Like, I mean,
That would suck. That
I'm-
would hurt.
I'm sure it wouldn't feel good, but like,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they could do it.
probably.
What would they make it out of? Like a inflatable balloon? Because you couldn't just walk around like hard all day. Like if you had an implant, that'd be kind of weird. There'd have to be some type of pressurized air. Like you'd have to get like a mini air compressor or something, or like plug it into like a 12 volt, like those air mattresses go, like before you're ready to go. That way, like, oh, hold on 1 second, I got to get my pump. Like, I wonder if they could do that. But see, then
I
again,
honestly want to look it up now.
yeah, but
That's crazy.
but then again, I always thought that's how breast implants work too. I just figured it was like, I mean, silicone makes way more sense. Like I get that, but that sucks. You have to get it done every like 10 years too to replace them.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to go through this process. Like, do you think it'll hurt less or be a less of a recovery time, or do you think it's gonna be the same thing like every time? Like you're getting your knee replaced like every 10 years.
I hope it's not as bad.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be more used to it, or like, and your body doesn't reject it or anything, huh? It just kind of like,
I mean, I'm sure it can. Like,
Yeah.
I was on, antibiotics and pain meds and that for the first few days. So, made sure that kept everything clean.
no
I-
honkas, none of that stuff.
No,
Right.
had to. Yeah, it was the first few days were the worst, but after like day 3, it slowly started to
Yeah.
get better.
Does it feel weird to like lay on them or anything? Like, because you lived, however many years before that without them. Now you have something literally like implanted in your body. Are you like self-aware of that, or is it kind of like how you don't see your nose, like when you're looking straight forward, like you just kind of forget about it?
A part of me remembers, and a part of me, like, sometimes, I do feel a lot more used to them. Like, when I first got them, it felt really weird. Like, there was something strange and different about my
Yeah.
body. But then, as I got used to them, there was certain things, like, I couldn't lay on my stomach for the first 4 months.
4 months.
4
Wow.
months.
Okay.
So, I've gotten so used to sleeping on my back that most of the time I don't even sleep on my stomach anymore. So,
And
but
Wow.
no, I can definitely tell, like, if I lay on them, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's like surfing.
surfing, they're sloshing around in there. I just feel like that'd be a wild, like, I don't know, wild experience or sensation, like knowing that, hey, it wasn't here, but now they are. I think
Mhm.
that'd be kind of crazy. They should make like Bluetooth titties or something. Like that's gonna be the next
Could you
big thing.
imagine if they had speakers in them?
That's what I'm saying. Why couldn't they? I mean, you'd have to replace the batteries however so often. Oh, let's say you do a lithium battery or something crazy.
You could just do like a magnetic rechargeable one.
Oh, like the wireless charging.
Mm-hmm. Pop a titty up on there.
Pull up your phone. Hey, you guys like the Dave Matthews Band? And it's like pull it up and be like, that'd be really cool. Imagine like impressing people like on a first date. You're like in the car, like, hey, you want to listen to some music? And you're like, yeah. All right, let me just cue up my titties real quick. Boom. That's a good idea.
I'm jealous now.
Yeah,
That would probably be like one of the upgradable features in the future.
in the future. Because what are the future of fake boobs? If not Bluetooth speakers.
Exactly.
I mean, they're Bluetooth and everything. It's either that or an air fryer. And no one wants air frying compatible titties. So if you do Bluetooth, that just makes way more sense.
Exactly.
I like it.
Me too.
I'll have to give a call to Sony or Bose. I feel like Beats might pick something like that up.
Oh yeah.
They have enough of that edge. Dr. Dre would be like, yeah, man, like pitch it as, have you ever been, laying there, want to hear some music? Boom. Bluetooth boobies. It's perfect.
That needs to be a thing now.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, well, you guys
We're
heard
gonna
it here first
go,
on Chronic Danger.
trademark this really
Yeah.
quick.
You heard it first here on Chronic Danger. Bluetooth boobies. The boobs of the future. TM. Okay. I think that's all I have to do for trademark these days. Just say TM after it and no one can touch you.
Cool.
Yeah.
TM.
Yeah. Kalen, I always love talking to you.
I love talking to you.
It's been too long. I haven't seen you in like 2 years.
I know. I'm happy that we were able to finally catch up and catch up on life.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to see you.
And change the world with these innovative ideas.
I feel like you and I paired together would be a pretty dangerous duo.
Very dangerous. TM.
TM.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This podcast was about roller derby. If you have 7-year-old or greater, look into it. It's seriously an amazing sport to watch, spectate, and to play, to be part of.
It's the best sport to play.
Yeah, it needs to be talked about more. I think it's super cool. It's a fun activity. It gets you active, and you get to beat people up. So,
what's better?
yeah. And if you think about getting a boob job, get it.
Do it.
Yeah. You heard it from her.
Do it.
Or hold off until Chronic Danger sponsored Bluetooth boobies are fully in market. Either way,
Just do it.
just do it. All right, guys, I appreciate it. This is Kalen Keneally.
Bye.
Danger Dorsey, thank you for listening to the Danger Dorsey. Excuse me, I don't even know the name of my own podcast. The Chronic Danger podcast. You guys have a great day.
Chronic danger.